Melvina Hodges here again from traditionsincloth.com, coming to you from Northern Indiana. I'm actually sitting here with another special delivery. This is harvest time, I suppose. Here we are in the middle of November and getting ready to celebrate our traditional fall harvest for Thanksgiving, but as we are fiber people, I am celebrating fiber. This came in the mail from a friend. I took some cotton seeds to my guild and passed some out to people who were interested. And there's a few of us that like to color outside of the lines. And sure enough, this year, at least 2 members of my guild, dear friends of mine, decided to plant and were successful. And one of my friends actually sent me her harvest. So I am very excited. I have 3 colors, and the more I see fiber, especially from my brown cotton, I'm starting to realize, you know what, this is a unique color. I almost wonder if it has something to do with because of where it's been grown. But she lives in Northern Indiana too, and this is what she has. I've already carded some. It's not really as late as it seems. It's only about 8 o'clock, but with our shorter days, it just feels later than it actually is. My nephew's about 3 feet away, passed out, sleeping, because of just our shorter days. You know, so it's dark at 6:30. But anyhow, I'm just sitting here, just processing through because I just couldn't resist. So, yeah, I was actually even comparing shawls that I made from this, and specifically looking at the brown. There's one here that I did not simmer in washing soda or baking soda, and then there's this one that I did, and the color difference is pretty significant. I mean, you can see the colors are really pastel. But I definitely noticed the brown. The brown is more chocolate than what I'm usually seeing. Usually when I buy brown cotton fiber, it's more of a cinnamon. But this one is more chocolatey, maybe even olivey. You can see this one wasn't simmered. This one was just spun as is. But this one was, and you see the colors are deepened. But the brown, it's more of an olivey brown. It's not the cinnamon brown that we're used to. So I think that's pretty cool. I would like to see more people grow from this area just to get an idea. The cotton seed, the brown color that I have, is from a single bowl that I was gifted. It had 21 seeds in it. And so whatever brown I get all stems from that original seed. And so, I don't know, we might just be getting our own little unique color happening here. My green is, I think it's called Elise's green? No, Erlene's green. I purchased, gosh, I can't even think of the name of the supplier. The seed exchange. Nonetheless, it's kind of a olivey green. A beautiful green nonetheless, and I like what it deepens to. It's a very beautiful color. Now I'll show some close-ups if I get a chance. But this is just a lax evening, chilling out, processing. It really doesn't take much. I know this might seem like, you know, to people who grow large plots, this is not much fiber, but really this is actually enough for a big project. This shawl alone, is only about 5 ounces. 5 ounces. This really large shawl. So you don't really need a lot of cotton to produce a decent sized project. But anyhow, I'm carding. My carders are Howard card, and they are 190 TPI or times per inch. And they work really well. I like the angle of them. I've had these for about maybe 6 years. 6 years or so, 6 or 7 years. And I haven't had any issue. I did have one of the paddles get loose, but I just, put some Gorilla Glue around it and kept it moving. it is perfectly fine. I've had no issues. So just carding, lazy afternoon. These are what I've done so far. And this is what you do. Just relaxing after a long day, cold day. Definitely feeling like winter around here. Carding. And I'll probably end up, I don't know, it doesn't take long to card. I'm just so eager to actually get to spin this, because I'm just in that mode. I don't know if it's just the time of year or what, but I feel like weaving and spindle spinning right now. And that's the thing about crafting. You have to do whatever you feel, because your best work happens when you're naturally inspired to do it. And right now I am naturally inspired to weave and spin. So I have a project. There's actually a table loom right here in front of me, and right behind, you can't see it, is my other loom, but they both have projects on them, and I just every free second I have to throw that shuttle back and forth a little bit. That's just what I'm in the mood for. This is just a regular wooden craft store dowel. Roll the cotton on. You could spin it like this. You can just kind of fluff it apart and start spinning. But I feel like I get more of a seamless spin when I organize it into rollags or ponies. Depends on what you like to call it. This cotton does have, it's crossed. It was grown together, so we do have a lot of color variation, and that's cool because your project is going to have a lot of dimension. It's just something the commercial yarns can't do. But we can, because when you do things yourself, you can really do exactly what you want. So I like that. In fact, I want to do some more blending. I did a project last month where I combined brown cotton, green cotton, and white cotton into one rollag and spun singles and wove the singles, and it created this really cool ombre effect. Fabric, and I thought that was really neat. And just think of all those configurations you can make if you maybe you mix different quantities of white and brown together, or different quantities of brown and green together. You can even see in this shawl where I just alternated strands of brown and green, and how that adds so much dimension to this shawl. You have white and brown and white and green, and it just makes this really light effect. But then when you combine the green and brown, it just goes to a deeper shade and gives a lot of dimension here. So we can really design even just only having 3 colors. This next project I'm going to do, though, it's going to have 4 colors, because it's going to be super duper 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 special, because it'll come from all gifted fiber. So it's kind of a friendship project. And so it's going to have this green, it's going to have this brown, it's going to have this white, and it's going to have this recycled denim blue. So it will be extra special, 1, because it comes from my fiber friends, and 2, because it's going to have all these unique colors interwoven in some way. And I don't even have an actual project in mind. It will be a swath of beautiful cloth. And I'm just going to let it evolve from there. Lately, I told you I've been on a weaving kick, but I've also been on a crochet kick too. So I don't know. I will know it when it's time. I'm just gonna take my time spinning this the old way. I'm gonna take it slow. I'm gonna use my bead spindles and you know, just really enjoy it. Enjoy the whole process. My friend ginned this for me, so I didn't get to gin this particular batch, but that's cool because that makes it all the more special. So she loved on it. You know, she nurtured it from seed, plant, and fiber, and harvested or ginned the seeds out and passed it on to me. So it's got a little bit of love mixed in here. And then I'll put my little touch to it, and we will come out with something extra special. But it seems like, you know, as I make posts on social media, which is something I really don't, you know, I don't consistently do, but I've been doing a lot of it lately. And I really think it's because we haven't been able to get together. You know, I really do miss those spin-ins. Or even that just monthly guild meeting where you can just sit down and, you know, see everyone's projects in person, talk and laugh. I miss that. So now I'm on social media a lot more. And I think that's a good thing. It's always a good thing to share. And perhaps I didn't realize just how important it is to share until now. Because we need those connections. You know, no one really becomes a fiber artist without those other, you know, fiber enthusiasts that cheer you on. You know, yes, I say I'm mostly self-taught, but there are so many people along the way that have encouraged me and helped me along, and, you know, allowed me to try out their tools and offered their advice, and given me fiber. So yeah, we need each other, and this is just that way that we maintain that connection. So just imagine having a long day, and it's 6:45 and dark, and you feel like you should be going to bed because, you know, what else is there to do when it's dark and cold out, and you open up your mail and someone has sent you their entire harvest of colored cotton. Ah, what a beautiful feeling. What a beautiful feeling. That's love right there. That is love. So I'm so thankful for that. And that's why, you know, of all things, you know, I probably could clean something right now. Probably could pay some bills. I probably could file some papers, but no, I am enjoying this moment. Enjoying this time. And that's the thing, people will ask you when you do fiber arts, well, how long did that take you? Oh, that must have taken forever, but what do we have but forever? You know, and this is therapy, you know? Clear your mind, clear your head. There's definitely a certain peacefulness about it. You know, my nephew, we worked on school all day, and then he played with friends a little bit, and you know, I sit down with my pile of fiber and get to brushing my cards, and you know, next thing you know, he's out. So yeah, it's just a beautiful wind down. The certain zen. And I always like to do it on the floor. And the thing is, before I started crafting, I never sat on the floor. You know, I always had to be on my couch. I always got to be on a chair. But something about just being surrounded by all your fiber goodies. You know, surrounded by your projects, things that you've made, your fiber, and I'm not gonna pan the room, but trust me, it's all around. You know, we got a loom right there, a loom right there. There's a lazy cake. There's some spools of yarn, ball winder. spindles, all of it here, you know, and tufts of cotton all over the place. But that is true bliss. True bliss. Enjoying this. And that's the thing. I mean, sometimes, you know, you turn on the TV. I don't usually watch cable television. I really like YouTube, where I can choose, or Prime, or any of those streaming, where I can choose what I watch. I like to watch crafty people when I craft, if I'm watching something. But a lot of times, I don't turn on anything. I just kind of sit with my thoughts, on my way of sorting things out. That's the thing, when you get into this, you find, you know, if you did turn something on to watch, you look up and you're like, well, I forgot to pay attention. Because you really do get lost in it, in a good way. But we have seeds. I actually have not brought my cotton in. It's in the garage. I have it on a vegetable dryer. My cotton is drying. Most of the bowls are open. I'm kind of getting impatient now. Tomorrow I'm probably going to bring them in and put them by the fireplace and probably open them up. Any that aren't fully open, I'm probably going to open them all up and put them right here. That way, I want to start ginning. I'm ready to process. I wonder if this is what it was like, you know, back in the day. You know, you would bring in your harvest and start working on it. You know, because it would be dark. I mean, I guess you would just come inside and work on your projects. But yeah, maybe that's how it was. Who knows? Well, sometimes you might just go back and ask. November 12th, mid-November. What do you do? What does the average person do this time? Yeah, we'll be celebrating all the food crops that we brought in, but hey, this is also the season for cotton harvest. And what better way to celebrate than to work it up into something beautiful? I don't even have to make a lot of passes with this. And that's the thing about hand-picked. It's clean, and it has not really been compressed at all, so you really don't have to work hard to prepare this. It is, I mean, ready. And it's very, 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 very clean. So not a whole lot of vegetation. And there are some bits of, you know, unformed seeds that I do pick out. And if you leave some in, no big deal, because if you're spindle spinning it, you're looking over every inch of that yarn, so you can, you know, pick it out as you go too. So yeah, this is gonna make a gorgeous yarn. The more seasons I grow cotton here, the more I realize, wait a minute, it may not make sense to grow cotton further up north for industrial purposes, but for your own personal use, you can actually be pretty successful at it. I mean, and I think before, you know, industry took over, it was a cottage industry. I mean, it you know, very labor intensive. You know, on an industrial scale, but if you're just producing a few heirlooms for your loved ones and for yourself, it's perfectly reasonable. And also when you get into the colored cottons and all the uniqueness that goes with them, industry doesn't like that. Industry likes to streamline everything. And everything has to be uniform and mechanized and perfect. Whereas when you hand prepare, fiber doesn't have to be perfect. You know, if you have some weaker bowls, you know, where the fibers aren't very strong, you can still use them, you know, and you can still produce. Maybe it's, you know, you don't spin it as a singles for a weaving or a woven project. Maybe you just knit, which is very gentle. It doesn't need a super duper duper strong yarn to work out. And so it's okay. So what would have been rejected by industry is actually okay. And I think it's just time for us to remember that and enjoy it for what it is. We have so much to gain through this process. We were given these hands to create. Or at least enjoy beautiful things that are unique and one of a kind, right? Have to make everything the same. It's nice to have things different. Don't worry, I won't leave this fiber next to the fireplace. And actually, I don't leave it on. It's just a cold day today. And we've just been warming ourselves up all day. And I think it's probably because it's kind of damp and cold. And so it just makes it feel that much colder. So I'll cut it off. It's a gas fireplace. I'll just cut it off when I get ready to go to bed. Because yeah, having piles of fiber next to a heat source is probably a bad idea. But I won't leave it here. So many possibilities. I don't know, maybe I might weave it. I haven't woven anything from my Homegrown yet. I did have some commercial sliver that I used, but I haven't. I've only knit with my Homegrown, so I don't know. Maybe I might. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll know it when I have the yarn. That's the thing. I never really have a plan. I had to let the materials do what they want to do. So I got to come up with a yarn. And once I have the yarn in my hands, then I'll know. I'll be able to tell what it wants to be. Otherwise, and that's not even the end of it, because I might decide, oh, I'm going to make this, and I might start weaving. But then I go, you know what? I make this piece wider. I'm going to crochet along the side. Or, oh, I'm going to knit a little bit onto it. Or, oh, you know what? Maybe it won't be a shawl. It'll be a top. So, yeah, I just decide as I go. I don't like to be hunkered down into one idea. I have to let it go where it wants to go. Wow, I'm getting to the end of this white. I have not weighed it, so I don't know how much this is, but definitely a good project's worth. And that's the thing. I mean, when you talk about growing cotton, people always think about, well, I guess because we are in an industrialized country, we always think about having acre after acre after acre of plants. But literally, you know, this could be a little tiny garden patch. You know, a little 4x4. You can create something special, regardless of where you live. I did have, you know, I still think about, oh, well, what if I could have a longer season? You know, I did bring a plant in this year, and it is struggling. In fact, just as I predicted, and just as what happened last time I brought a plant in, the leaves have lost their color, so they're yellowing, and not just the old ones, because the old leaves drop off and then you start to get new sprouts, new buds, but even those are just starved for sun, and so they're really light and sickly looking. So I don't know, and I'm not one to do the whole grow light thing. It's just not sustainable for my situation, and there's too much activity happening in my house for it, you know, for it to be left alone. So yeah, it just wouldn't work. That's okay. It's okay. I actually, right now, I'm kind of surprised I'm working cotton right now, because I washed a fleece. It's Romney that I bought. I bought it last year actually, and I finally washed it. I use a swint bath, swint bath. Basically, you stick your fleece in water outdoors, and you know, in the warm, you know, weather, and it breaks down all the dirt and impurities, and somehow magically clean your fleece for you. And I did it, and it came out beautifully clean. I don't even know how long I left it out there. I probably left it out for 2 weeks. I think I left it out for 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in the heat of the summer, and it came out beautifully. All I did was rinse it, and it's beautiful. It's probably about 2 to 3 pounds. I just need to card it. I've already picked it open and got it fluffed up. I just need to card it. I thought I'd be working on that, but then this cotton came in the mail, and I'm like, oh no, this is a gift from my buddy. I gotta get working on this. There is a certain positive energy. I'm telling you, I opened that bag and I felt the love. So I had to get working on it. Everybody needs that warm and fuzzy feeling sometimes, and that's what I get when you're working on something that someone's gifted to you. It really does have all that good energy in it. Definitely something to be cherished. So odd. Just talking, thinking out loud, basically. So these are all the things that are going through my head as I card, and here I am saying them out loud. It's so strange. But it's okay. Yeah, I really don't even have to do a lot of passes with the carders. It just, it's already fluffy. It may seem like I'm brushing this hard, but I really am. I'm not. It's a light pat. Because if you actually dug your tines in, you wouldn't even be able to run it past the fiber. You have to kind of lightly pat it. I'm probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 more, and that's that. That's the white, the natural white. I was surprised, and I don't know what the time frame is, but you know that golden color natural cotton usually is. For some reason, this batch that I just crocheted up is bright white. And I wonder if it, you know, maybe the oxidation takes a while. I know I did store those particular skeins in a plastic bin, and so maybe it just never got the air. I did notice the piece that I knitted up has started to turn that buttery color that we're used to seeing with natural cotton. So I wonder if over time my brown will oxidize to that cinnamon color, or will it stay olivey. I guess we're gonna see. Only time will tell. I did take quite a few pictures, so hopefully that'll help me to know what the change is. You know, people talk about how colored cotton will lose its color. I haven't had that, but then I kind of baby my my colored cotton projects in my yarn. But I did buy some commercial colored cotton that had faded, that had been stored in the sun. And the colors did deepen again when I simmered it in baking soda or washing soda. I think I used washing soda this time. The colors deepen right up again. So I don't know how that process works. I guess only time will tell if it actually does lose color. I know that there are some pieces in museums created by Native Americans that, you know, the color is still within the pieces, and you know they get a lot of sun. Obviously, you know, this kind of cotton grows in places that get a lot of sun, and the colored cotton is still colored. It didn't completely fade out. So I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to see. You know, we're relearning. You know, we lost the knowledge, and now we're regaining the knowledge through practice. And that's my whole goal with Traditions in Cloth. It's about honoring and preserving our fiber arts heritage. So the best way to keep it alive and enjoy its benefits is to do it. You gotta figure out how to do it. And it has just been such a rewarding journey. This is not even enough for a whole roll of egg or pony. Oh well, I'm using every little smidge. None will go to waste. My friend grew this, and so we are going to use every single bit of it. Alright, so that's that. See here, I'm just going to make a nice, neat little bundle. Then I'll get started on, probably do the brown next. But yeah, so I'll be ready to spin. Doesn't take long. I don't know, I may even sit up tonight. I'm feeling good. I may even sit up tonight and finish carding everything. But thanks for joining me. And stay tuned. We'll see what comes of this beautiful fiber.